Woken Matt Hardy is finally in the WWE, and as of this week, or as these words come out of my mouth, he recently purchased all the rights from the Broken Universe from TNA, so he now owns all of it, and that's very wonderful, obviously, and it's very exciting, and it makes my knees go down like this, which means I jig around on the camera. And whether you get it or whether you don't, the Woken Matt Hardy character is just bonkers, and that's what pro wrestling is all about. We take the sport of kings and we manipulate it to come up with these wacky and wild, and of course, once again, wonderful ideas, and that is what Matt Hardy did. With that said, I'm not 100% sure what WWE is currently doing with the persona is working, and to be honest, I think they really should and could do more. I know it's early days, we're only touching the surface within the WWE and Woken Matt Hardy, however, it's always better to be preemptive than it is reactive. So WWE needs to be doing more with Woken Matt Hardy. Why? Pow! Here's why. First and foremost, there have already been a bunch of awesome highlights with the WWE version of Woken Matt Hardy. I mean, a few weeks ago, he was playing chess and talking to a goldfish. We can't overlook that. That was great. There's no point riding in on our chariots of steel and just shouting at everything yet. However, we need more of this. I don't need more goldfish, I need more weird stuff. The beauty with the TNA version of the character is that it did continue to change each and every week to the point you never knew what Matt Hardy was going to do. And think how many elements we had towards the end of it. They weren't there in the beginning. We had a drone, we had some lake that managed to make people come back to life or whatever. We had some insane gardener. That didn't exist when Woken Matt Hardy, or Broken Matt Hardy then, debuted. It all came to pass as he evolved. And that's what I want to start seeing WWE doing. It got so surreal you couldn't help but buy in. It was so original, it was so inventive. And I know it wasn't for everyone and some people rolled their eyes and thought it was stupid, but I bet you still laughed a little bit, because everybody laughed a little bit. Now when we switch back over to WWE, all Matt Hardy's really done up to this point is cut a few, and admittedly they were entertaining, promos. And that's fine for the time being, but again, what we're really lacking here is that sense of story or that sense of purpose. For as silly as Broken Matt Hardy was, he did have a very understandable narrative. He couldn't handle all this stuff that had been going on with his brother, so he lost his mind and sought revenge. And sure, we did that a bit on Raw because Matt lost a couple of matches and he started to freak out, and that was okay then, but now, as I've already said and saying again, we need to start doing more. We need to see extra layers and extra bits shoved in there so it feels like we're heading in a direction, because at the moment we're kind of just going from week to week and seeing what's what, and most of the time, doing exactly the same stuff. The easy point of blame could be Bray Wyatt, but I think that's unfair. I mean, that's a whole other case study that we have got into before, and I'm sure we'll get into again. But that doesn't stop Matt Hardy having fun or having giant fights on the back of the lorry. Remember that? Remember the giant fight on the back of the lorry? That was genius, that was. That's absolutely crazy. I mean, where is all that? But when we get to the point that Hardy and Wyatt are just laughing at each other, much like they laughed at each other the week before, you do have to start questioning it and scratching your head, because we have evidence of what worked, and yet we're seemingly ignoring that evidence for this thing over here, and this thing over here isn't doing anything. It doesn't have to be a carbon copy, but the fact that Matt Hardy has been restricted to the backstage area or in the ring is otherworldly. Let him go out there, put him outside, put him in the wild, and just tell him to come up with stuff. Even if it's just him on his cell phone. Look what he does on Twitter. Just do more of that, but put it on Raw. What he's done doesn't really fit into the normal pro wrestling model, so take the pro wrestling model and chuck it out the window and do new things. Having him in the same environment as everybody else completely negates his originality, and before long, he's just another guy, but he's a guy with a streak in his hair. And he's been feuding with Wyatt for a good few weeks now. How is it that when Wyatt feuded with the New Day and when Wyatt feuded with Randy Orton, we came up with all this bizarre stuff, went to a compound, had a house of horrors, but with Matt Hardy involved, we haven't had any of that. I think that's also why currently it's not clicking with everyone too. I mean, Matt Hardy's still been an absolute riot, but he's not given the necessary tools to allow that to spread. I mean, if you didn't know about this character before the WWE, I'd imagine right now you're still pretty confused. I mean, it really has devolved into a man chuckling a lot, and that's fine, but we need more. And we need more soon, because otherwise you're going to hit a plateau with it, and you're going to keep doing the same thing over and over again, and people are just going to expect that, and then you've lost them. You've lost them. When you've lost them, too late. My hope is that he does beat Bray Wyatt, because if he doesn't, my word, what are we supposed to do then? But then, let's tap into that. Well, we got to tune into Raw this week, because we don't know what Matt Hardy's going to do, because that is the appeal. That's why it worked so far before. It was that huge question mark of what was going to be coming next, and nobody knew, and amazingly, Matt Hardy, you could never guess it. He kept coming up with stuff that nobody could figure out. It's like right now, I put on this luchador mask, right? This luchador mask has come from nowhere. But if I keep talking in the same way and waving my arms like a moron like I do and saying, hey, it's me, Simon Miller from What Culture, you're like, Why is Simon wearing a mask? What does this mask mean? What does this mask do? It's pretty much the same guy, but he's wearing a mask. I mean, why did he put the mask on? That's what I'm getting at. So yeah, in summary, I love Matt Hardy and I love the Broken Universe, and I truly believe that in time, this is going to become really good. But WWE, you got to let Matt Hardy run wild. You got to let him run wild. You got to uncuff him and throw him into a forest and say, feel the leaves, Matt Hardy. Feel the grass rubbing all over your body, and come up with this crazy stuff that we know you can do, and we'll put it on television and you'll make money and we'll make money and the fans will love it and everybody will be happy. Because let's face it, if you're not happy, what's the damn point? Now, don't forget to leave a comment below and let us know what you think about all of this. Like, share, and subscribe. Go and put a luchador mask on. Then head over to whatculture.com and read yourself some articles, and follow What Culture on Twitter at WhatCultureWWE. My name is Simon from What Culture. I'm wearing a luchador mask. I'll see you soon.